Hi, and welcome to Mondays with Marlo. I am so excited that we've got Joy Bauer today, the great nutritionist from the Today Show. You guys love her. This is her third time. You're the only one other than Susie Orman that's been on this three times.
Really?
Yeah, you're the tops.
Well, I'm going to beat her soon then. So I'm coming back.
Okay, good. We want you back. Well, you are really wanted. I mean, our community flooded us with questions over the
Thank you.
weekend. So we're going to get right started. This is from Janice. Hi, Janice. What are the three most important things we should be eating for optimal health?
Oh, that's a tough one because there are so many. So I'm going to say, Janice, off the top of my head, first, dark green leafy vegetables. So that means spinach, Swiss chard, kale, because they're sort of like nature's multivitamin. When you look them up, they pretty much have every single vitamin and mineral plus fiber. So they're so good for every body part. So that's my first. The second I would have to say is fish, especially fatty fish like salmon, because it gives us those omega-3 fats, which helps alleviate aches and pains, and it improves heart health. It's just really good for us. And lastly, I'm going to say lentils, because it's such a super vegetarian protein, and it helps to smooth out your blood sugars.
Yeah. Oh,
so
really?
it can boost your mood and your energy, and it's just so good for you.
And lentils are, what, are they considered a bean, right?
Yes, it's a bean, like a legume, but it's also a great protein. It comes packaged with high quality carbohydrate, so you get this slow, steady level in your blood sugars, which of course is so good for diabetes, and it's also good for your mood and energy, and they're cheap, and I love that. They're inexpensive.
Good, good. This is from Greg. Are there foods that speed up metabolism or can actually promote weight loss? Is that possible?
Believe it or not, there are, and the foods that can boost your metabolism and give it a rev is protein, because it's harder for us to digest protein than the carbohydrates and fats, so we have to work a little bit harder. So I'm not telling anybody to eat a high protein diet, but it's going to do your metabolism good if you go out of your way to include things like egg whites and non-fat Greek yogurts. Greek yogurt has twice the amount of protein as traditional yogurt, and again, the fish and skinless poultry and pork tenderloin, all of these things have ample protein.
So do you like protein drinks?
I think that if you're looking to boost your metabolism, the best thing to do is to eat your protein. But if you want to add protein into a smoothie, let's say, you could add some yogurt or skim milk, or you could add a scoop of whey protein powder. That works as well.
Yeah, that's good. This is from Harriet. What are the 5 worst enemies for belly fat? I'm dying to hear what this is.
5 worst enemies for belly fat. Really, anything that you overeat.
Right.
Because belly fat, which is fat around the abdominal area, will only accumulate if you take in more calories than you're burning. So if you overeat anything, it's going to wind up as belly fat. But I think the biggest culprits, what do we tend to overeat the most? I would say drinking soda and sugary beverages and the starchy fatty carbs, things like donuts and baked treats and even bagels. Huge bowls of pasta. So if you could just sort of pull back on the amount that you're eating.
Cupcakes, packaged goods,
all those baked treats, I know, and it's hard to stop at one. Chips, cookies.
I know, hot dog buns. Okay, you got it. You know what it is. This is from Stephanie. What are the 3 most surprising facts? First, you have to know that our community loves tips.
Okay.
They love, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's where we are here. What are the 3 most surprising facts about nutrition that most people don't know?
That most people don't know. There is actually a food that you could eat in unlimited amounts, and those are the non-starchy vegetables. You will never get fat eating too much non-starchy vegetables: broccoli, cauliflower, kale, spinach. I think the second surprising fact is that eating late at night will not pack on the pounds.
Really?
You just need to make sure that it's the right amount that you're eating. So 150 calories or less, and that's going to be fine. And the last thing is, let's see. Surprising.
Something that's good for you that maybe we wouldn't know.
That's good for you that you wouldn't know.
Well, what about nuts?
Nuts are fabulous. I mean, they could be fattening because they're calorically dense, but nuts are wonderful. I tell everybody, a handful of nuts. Here's something surprising. If you eat a handful of nuts in the afternoon, you can drive down your cholesterol level.
Really?
Yes. a handful. But you don't want to make it 2, 3, or 4 handfuls,
Right.
because then
And
you
mean the
gain
non-salted
weight.
kind?
Well, the salted kind are okay as well, unless you have high blood pressure. And if you have high blood pressure, then I would say go for the unsalted.
So which nuts? Almonds, walnuts, any of them?
Every single nut brings something special to the table.
Uh-huh.
But if we're talking about lowering your cholesterol, the 2 top nuts, in my opinion, would be pistachios. And I love that pistachios are in the shell because it slows down the pace of your eating.
It does.
And then you get to have 2 handfuls
Right, that's
because the
right.
shells take up
That's
space.
right.
And almonds. Almonds would be my second choice.
So not walnuts. Too fattening?
No, walnuts are great too. I'm going to say walnuts also. All nuts. All nuts are fabulous.
Okay. This is from Molly. What foods are good for our eyesight?
For your eyesight, 2 foods, and we already mentioned them earlier. First, it's going to be spinach, because spinach has a combination of antioxidants called lutein and zeaxanthin. These 2 things act together to work sort of as sunscreen for your eyes. So spinach, eat your spinach. And the second thing is going to be, believe it or not, that salmon again. Salmon and sardines, because they have omega-3 fats, which we now know are very important for those tiny little vessels that are within our eyes.
And we can also get our omegas from vitamins like krill or the omega fish oil pills.
Right.
Do you believe in that?
I do. So anything that has the fish oils in
Right,
it, whether you take a supplement or whether you eat the fish, is going to be fabulous. And for people that don't eat fish, you could also get those omega-3 fats from ground flax seeds and chia seeds, which are all the rage right now.
They're great.
And maybe chia seeds will even grow hair.
Really?
No, but the chia pets. So it was a bad joke.
I didn't get it. Sorry. This is from Mary. Any tips on eating healthy in the dining hall? I'm starting college in September, and I don't want to gain the freshman 15. Thanks.
Mary, you're really smart. It's a very, very smart question, and a lot of college kids are nervous about this. When it comes to the college cafeteria, take advantage of all of the great stuff that they have lurking around. The salad bar is awesome. Every university has one now. Just go easy on the dressing and pile on the vegetables. You can also, when it comes to some of the hot stuff, keep it simple. So if it's plain burgers, plain grilled chicken, plain baked fish, just don't put a lot of the extra sauce on. Skip all the fried offerings that they have.
And the mashed potatoes.
And the mashed potatoes,
always
or just one scoop,
Right.
and double up on the vegetables. Memorize that line. I want a double scoop of vegetables. And fresh fruit is fabulous. And if they have the soft serve ice cream or the frozen yogurt machines, you could always get a small as a dessert for lunch and for dinner.
Right.
And just be wary of the toppings. Fresh fruit works perfectly.
Well, maybe that's the answer to this question, too, from Bet. She said, what's the best food to take to your room from the dining hall? What stays, what won't? Small things that go a long way.
Whenever you could take fresh fruit back in your backpack to your room, it's terrific, because you can keep things like apples and bananas and oranges on hand. If they have small boxes of high fiber cereals, that's another great thing.
That's a good snack. I love that. That's my afternoon snack often, is granola.
Yeah.
I like that. This is from Paula. What are tips for the best, quotes, cheap snacks for athletic teens who are spending the summer outside?
Juicy fruits. Juicy fruits like grapes and peaches and plums.
Cherries?
Cherries are fabulous because they're offering fiber, and they're also offering vitamins and minerals and water to help hydrate your athletes.
So watermelon would be good as well, right?
Watermelon is one of the best fruits for the summer. It is chock full of vitamin C, and contrary to what a lot of people think, it's not fattening. You could have a big, large wedge or a cup of cubed watermelon for under 100 calories.
Really? Because you think of the sugar in that.
Because it tastes so nice
it's
and
so sweet, yeah.
And cantaloupe is like that as
Yeah,
well.
right.
It tastes sweet, but it's so good for you, and it's super low calorie.
Great. I love watermelon. This is from Ginny Arnold. What are good fats to eat to help lose belly fat?
Good foods to lose belly fat. Again, when it comes to belly fat, it's all about controlling all of the calories that you're eating. And I think one of the biggest belly fat traps are the sneaky liquid beverages, the calories that you're getting from the glass that you're guzzling down. So be very wary of what you're putting into your coffee. You don't want a lot of cream and sugar. Instead, stick with skim milk or soy milk or unsweetened almond milk, and no more than 1 or 2 packets of sugar. Watch out for all the fruit smoothies, nix the sodas and the fruit punch and the lemonades.
Right.
Drink a lot of water, lots and lots of water, and you'll get rid of that belly fat.
That lemonade is so sweet. I had a lemonade in a restaurant a couple weeks ago. It was so sweet. I thought, my
They add a lot of sugar.
So much
So
sugar.
here's a good trick. When you get a super sweet lemonade or an iced tea, order another glass of water or seltzer or club soda, and then you can keep diluting it as you're drinking it.
So you're still getting the lemon thing you want. But yeah,
Right.
that's a good idea.
And then you get like 2 drinks for 1.
That's right. Oh, you're so clever. This is from Barbara. Should your diet change if you're in menopause? And what kind of vitamin supplements should you add?
You know, so as we start getting older, unfortunately, our metabolisms do start to slow down a little bit. So it's not that the diet necessarily changes. It's just that you need to tighten the reins on all the food that you're eating so that you don't start to gain weight. And it's a fallacy that you can't defy this.
Oh,
You
really?
can look and feel better in your 60s, 70s, and 80s than you did in your 20s. And I have worked with people that, you know, validate this is possible, but you have to really, really keep on track of what you're eating. No more between 12 and 1,500 calories a day.
And what are there vitamin supplements that you like for that?
Well, I think that everybody could benefit from just taking a multivitamin that offers, you know, around 100% of everything, specifically when it comes to vitamin D. D is in David, because we tend to not get enough vitamin D.
Right.
And then on top of that, if you want to take a separate omega-3 fish oil supplement, that could benefit people as well, because it's good for so many parts of the body.
Oh, I think it's a really good, I love it. I take it every day. This is from Jordan. I get headaches and migraines a lot, and I'm constantly reaching for pills to alleviate the pain, but I really like to cut back on the number of pills I take for my headaches. Are there any foods I could be eating to help prevent those headaches or even stop them once I have them?
It's a great question, and it's a big problem for a lot of people. So first, I'm going to say for people that suffer with debilitating migraines, there's actually a supplement combination that seems to really help reduce the frequency and the intensity once you get them. So the combination is magnesium, riboflavin, CoQ10, and omega-3 fats.
All in one pill?
No, you have to take them separately. But there's a pill out on the market. It's called Migraleaf that combines everything that I just said, with the exception of it combines the first 2. Magnesium and riboflavin. So you have to take the CoQ10 separately and the omega-3 fish oil pills separately. But it's a really good product to know about, and it's helped a lot of people. So you take it prophylactically.
Oh, good.
And in terms of one food that can really help, I would say beans. Black beans, kidney beans, chickpeas, lentils. Lentils, believe it or not, can be a trigger for some people when it comes to migraines.
Okay.
But the beans are so rich in magnesium, and we just talked about magnesium in supplement form, and it could really help to fight them. So I
the
hope you
beans
feel
that are
better.
good are which ones now?
Black beans, kidney beans, chickpeas.
Great. This is from Phyllis. Any tips for keeping a family of 4 healthy on a tight budget?
Yes. Yes. So the first thing
I love her. She says yes.
No, listen, a lot of people are in this predicament.
Absolutely.
And it's a good question, so thank you. The first thing I would say is always take advantage of whatever is on sale in the produce department. You want to buy things that are in season because they're going to be less expensive. Next, hit the frozen aisles and buy frozen vegetables and frozen fruit. As long as it doesn't have added gunk and sauce and sugar and salt, it's excellent.
It is?
And it's just as nutritious and full of all the good stuff like their fresh counterparts. Lentils, we love. Lentils are inexpensive. They are powerhouses, and you can really stretch a meal, soup or side dishes or main entrees using lentils. And then stock up on canned beans. I love canned beans.
Right.
You know, if you have the extra energy and effort, you could buy the dried versions and you can soak them. I don't. I buy the beans in the can, but all of these things will really help.
Sounds good. I make a lentil loaf, like a meatloaf, and it's really good.
Delicious.
I love that.
I want you to invite me over for dinner.
You're on. This is from
I'll bring the berries for dessert.
Okay, good. This is from Michelle. What is the best source of protein for vegetarians?
Whole soy for sure. So that means tofu and tempeh, edamame. I love edamame in the pod. I buy it shelled and I work it into pasta dishes and stir fries, salads. It's really delicious, and I even like it roasted. Have you ever tried roasted edamame?
I have.
It's like nuts,
Yeah.
and it's lower in calories, and it's higher in protein and fiber than nuts.
Oh, wow.
Roasted edamame is fabulous.
So you take them out of the shell and you roast them.
You buy them done.
Oh, you buy them done.
I buy them already roasted.
I love this.
You can get them at Whole Foods.
You're a working mother, right?
Yes. Juggling. There's no such thing as balance.
So how do you roast them then?
If you wanted to roast them yourself,
Yes.
you buy them shelled, right? And you would put them out on a baking sheet and spray them a little bit
but
with
you
some
buy
oil.
them roasted?
I buy them,
Oh,
and they're
good.
crunchy, just like nuts. And also, of course, lentils are great vegetarian sources of protein,
Right,
and the
right.
starchy beans are
Right,
great sources.
And I have 2 egg whites every morning.
Right. So egg white. So if you're a vegan, you wouldn't be eating eggs.
have
But for
eggs?
people
I
that
see.
are not as strict with their vegetarianism, egg whites are fabulous.
Yeah, they are. Okay, this is from Michael Barber. I would love to see a chart showing the number of calories needed to sustain one's weight with 3 different activity levels and factoring in age and metabolic rate. Is there one?
Okay, I'm
Is there
thinking
such
on
a
my
thing?
feet now. Off the top of my head, I would say here's a great rough calculation to figure out your how many calories your body requires on a typical day.
Right.
Multiply your weight by 13. Okay, that's for people that just do sort of casual exercise every now and then.
Right.
If you hit the gym more regularly, let's say 3 times a week, multiply your weight by 14. If you are a serious athlete, multiply your weight by 15. And if you are an elite athlete, I work with the New York City ballet dancers.
Oh, yeah?
I have them multiply their weight by 16. So it all depends. It's going to be a range between 13 and 16, depending upon how active you are.
And that's going to tell you what?
That's going to tell you how many calories you need in a day to maintain your weight.
Uh-huh.
And everybody's different. There's genetics are involved, and
right.
sort of we change on a day-to-day basis. But for the most part, that's a great rule of thumb.
Yeah. But those ballet dancers mustn't need way too
That's
much
why
of this.
their calculation goes
mean,
higher.
wow,
And,
yeah.
you and I would probably be more like 14.
Yeah.
They're in the 16
Oh,
range.
sure, I'm sure. This is Detroit in November, okay? Are there any foods or supplements good for your hair and skin? As you get older, your hair thins out and your skin gets drier. So what would be, this is a good question.
That's a great question. For your skin, you want to think beta carotene. Anything that is bright orange, like sweet potatoes, pumpkin, carrots,
Right.
or deep green. That's your spinach, your kale, and your Swiss chard.
That's skin.
Skin. You will have radiant, gorgeous, glowing skin.
Go for it.
When it comes to your hair, it's more about iron-rich protein, because protein helps your hair to be thick and lustrous, and the iron helps to circulate oxygen to your hair follicles. So that would be things like pork tenderloin and skinless chicken and turkey. Your eggs again. Eggs
Fish?
are terrific. Fish is fabulous.
Eggs, if it's just the whites, I don't eat the yolks.
Eggs have the whites have the protein and the yolks have the iron.
Oh.
So it's a little toss
I
up. So
thought
you'll
the
get it
yolks
from
had the
other
fat.
yolks have fat, but a more absorbable iron. So usually what I say to people when it comes to eggs is whip 1 whole egg with 2 to 3 egg whites. You keep the calories down and you get the best of everything.
Oh, that's good. I'm going to do that. This is about Mark. I'm trying to lower my sodium, but it seems like without salt, my food has no flavor. I'll say. Do you have any suggestions for seasoning food and keeping my sodium down?
Yes. You
I love
have
it. She says
to
yes. Yes.
you have to befriend all of the fabulous spices and seasonings that are out there. Everything from oregano and thyme and rosemary and sage. They are waiting to make it into your cupboard. And I'm telling you, if you experiment around with these things, you can get away with just a little bit of salt.
Right.
And I always tell people to use the coarse salt versus the fine table salt. That would be kosher salt, or a coarse sea salt. Sea salt is not automatically coarse. So you have to go out of your way to buy the coarse because you can use less. When a recipe calls for a teaspoon, you get less sodium in a teaspoon of coarse salt than you would in a teaspoon of table fine salt. And there are also salt substitutes out there.
Are there?
They mimic the taste of salt. They don't quite taste like salt, but they give you the feel of salt. So you could look for them.
I find lemon is a great thing.
Lemon is great.
It really does help not to have salt because my husband doesn't have much salt.
Because it takes the
Yeah.
flavor in a different
Yeah,
direction.
Yeah, it does.
And it
also
fools you into thinking that you're not missing the salt.
That's right.
That was a great tip.
This is from Nina. I know you're supposed to include omega-3s in your diet, but I don't eat fish. Where else can I get omega-3?
So the best place, hands down, to get your omega-3s is from the fatty fish, specifically sardines and salmon.
But she says I don't eat fish.
Right. But the next best place to get them in terms of the plant-based foods would be walnuts, canola oil, soybeans, and also chia seeds and flax seeds.
Right.
And chia seeds and flax seeds are very easy to work with because they have a very neutral taste. The flax seeds you have to grind up to
Right.
make all the good stuff bioavailable when you eat it. The chia seeds you don't, because the entire seed is digestible.
Oh.
All you need to do is sprinkle 1 or 2 tablespoons on your oatmeal. You could toss it into a fruit smoothie. I work them into pancake batter or muffin
Oh,
batter.
Great.
So it's very, very easy.
And also the fish oils.
or you
pills.
could take the fish oil supplements, right?
This is from Chris. I'm underweight and I want to build up some muscle. I need a routine that I can handle. What are your suggestions?
Chris, this is what you're going to do. You're going to buy a drink called Orgain, Orgain, or you can buy an Ensure or Boost, one of those supplemental beverages that add about 260 calories per small 8-ounce can. Drink it with each of your meals instead of water. So this way, you know, you're still eating the same volume and you're still drinking a beverage, but you're giving yourself a whole lot of extra calories. Then you're going to have about, 800 to 1,000 extra calories at the end of the day. And the other thing I would do is take advantage of 2 high-calorie bars that have healthy ingredients. One is Pro Bar, and the other one is Cliff. And you could pretty much get them anywhere. Google around.
So Cliff is fattening.
Yeah. Cliff it, but it has a lot of good things
Right.
for you. So it's not necessarily for someone looking to lose weight, but when you're looking to gain weight. And at the
Right.
same time, start weightlifting.
Right.
Because that'll bulk up your muscles.
Right, if you want to build up some muscle, you have to do that.
Right.
This is from Adrian. Bone density in women diminishes as we get older. I turn 60 August 9th. Any tips for how to keep my bones strong? Do you recommend vitamin D? Cheers, Adrian.
Cheers, Adrian. I do recommend vitamin D, either from a multivitamin or from food. Again, the best places to get your vitamin D is going to be fatty fish. Fatty fish are so...
Sounds like it.
Could you imagine? Because it's the omega-3s and the vitamin
So
D.
other than salmon, what's fatty?
Sardines, mackerel. There are not that many.
sea
Trout,
bass.
you can get some from trout. There's not a lot of
And sea
omega-3s in
bass.
sea bass. You do get omega-3s in tuna, but tuna also has the mercury problem,
Yes.
so I don't love to recommend
Right.
it. But I would say that if you wanted to take a supplement, you can certainly take the vitamin D either in a multi or a separate vitamin D supplement. And then, of course, go out of your way to have yogurts and dark green leafy vegetables because these things have a lot of calcium.
Do you take vitamin D separate?
No, I take it in a multivitamin,
Because I take it separately. I'm taking 2,000 a day.
which is great. The multivitamin that I'm
Not
taking,
2,000 pills, 2,000 milligrams.
the multivitamin that I'm taking has 1,000 worked in. So if you can find a multivitamin that has at least 1,000, it's
Yeah.
one-stop shopping.
Right, right.
And I think eventually all the multivitamins, or the majority, will up the amount of vitamin D
Vitamin
that they
D,
have because
right.
it's so important. And it's hard to get through food because there are not that many food sources.
This is from Baby Bell. What are some guidelines to follow for vitamins and supplements? Some doctors say a balanced meal should be enough, But what would you recommend? Most doctors kind of poo-poo vitamins and supplements.
You
Some
know-
of them are a little more informed, but a lot of them do.
Depending upon, what your personal stance is in terms of where you are medically speaking, how you eat, the answer is going to be very, very different.
Right.
If you have an uber sensational balanced diet, the truth is you don't need any supplements. But most of us are erratic with our eating.
Of course,
So
and
that's
we're
when
running. We don't even have lunch some days.
Right. So in that case, I do think that a multivitamin is a good backup for people. And then depending upon your ailments, if you have migraines, there are certain vitamins that you could take. If you have high blood pressure, if you need your cholesterol lowering, there are certain extras that you can take.
So where would you find that out? Is there a book you can buy? Did you ever do a book on this?
Yes.
Good.
So I have, funny that you should ask.
And I didn't know.
I have, it's called Joy Bauer's Food Cures.
Okay.
And I walk through all of these different medical conditions that people face on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
And I give you the foods to include, the foods to avoid, and what supplements you should
That's
consider.
great, because it's very confusing.
And it's also on the website, joybauer.com.
Oh, great, great. Okay, well, we'll link to that so that we can people can see that. This is from Connie Gearhart. What in-between snacks are healthy and don't make you gain weight?
The best snacks for weight maintenance will be snacks that are calorie controlled, 150 calories or less. So it could be a piece of fruit like an orange or a peach and a small handful of almonds, or it could be a half a cup of pistachios in the shell. It could be a granola bar or any of the nutrition bars that are under 200 calories. You have to read those labels because some
Right.
of them are higher than 200 calories.
And you have to carry them with you. I put them in little baggies and have them in my purse so that when I get that feeling like if I could just get a Snickers bar, I'll be happy again.
It's an emergency
Yeah,
stash.
It is. It really
but you can't
is.
put too much in your emergency stash because then you end up eating everything that's in the
No,
bag.
I know. But otherwise, you eat the candy bar.
Right.
Because you're starving to death. I mean, that happens to me in New York all the time.
And roasted edamame. I'm
Oh,
going to
yes.
turn everybody on to roasted edamame.
Yeah.
That's a great emergency stash.
And how much of
fix
that? Just a
also.
handful?
Yeah, I think with the roasted edamame, you could have between a quarter and a half a cup.
Oh, good.
And they're
that
crunchy
in a
and they're
baggie
fun.
It's in your purse. It's
It's
fabulous.
shelf stable, perfect.
Fabulous. Okay, we have a lot more, and I'm getting the hook here. Okay, Rad Dad, what are some tricks to sneak some more nutrition into my kids' diet? They're very picky eaters, and it seems like an uphill battle.
The best strategy is before dinner hits and the kids are itching to eat something and everybody's saying, I'm hungry, and they're looking to open up the cupboards and put their hands in the cracker boxes, put a huge thing of vegetables out on the table. It could be sliced cucumbers, baby
Yeah.
carrots, sugar snap peas,
That's
green
good.
beans, anything, and say that's the only thing that you can have before dinner. They might turn up their nose day 1, day 2, day 3. I'm telling you, after a week, they're going to be gobbling down those vegetables.
Oh, goodness, I have so many questions, and I'm being told I can't. Let's see here. I'd love to know more about coconut milk and coconut water and their health benefits.
So coconut milk is the liquid from the flesh part of the coconut. That is very, very high calorie, and it's rich in saturated fat. So that's the type of fat that tends to drive up the bad cholesterol levels. Coconut milk I would enjoy sparingly. Maybe just use it every now and then in some of your recipes. Coconut water, on the other hand, is the liquid, the clear liquid that's from the immature coconuts. That is benign. It's about 45 calories per cup. It has some electrolytes in it. I think the real benefit for coconut water is for athletes that are involved in these endurance events like running and soccer and basketball. It could be used as a replacement for some of the sports drinks that are out on the market. Otherwise, for everybody else that's looking to lose weight or maintain their weight, if you think it's worth drinking 45 calories per cup instead of water and you love the taste, it's fine.
What about coconut pills? I have friends who take the coconut capsule.
There's no reason to take
No?
them. I mean, we don't have any compelling research right now to show that it really fights health conditions.
Okay,
So to me, I think I would probably skip that pill.
This is from Ivy. I have so many friends who swear by juicing as a way to lose weight and detox their bodies. I'm personally skeptical because I feel like I need a lot more variety in my diet. So I'm curious if juicing is actually really good for you out there, or if there are risks involved that I'm not aware of.
So when it comes to juicing, it's a little bit complicated. First, let me say that the liquid calories do not fill you up like solid calories. So when people go on these all exclusive liquid juice fasts, you're not doing your body or your hunger a big bargain. The second thing is that the majority of the commercial plans out on the market are almost void of protein. And protein is what keeps your metabolism humming along, and it also helps to keep you feeling full and satisfied. There is so much refined carbohydrate in these juice cleanses or fasts, so I wouldn't recommend them as a full-on diet. That being said, I think they're great for a meal replacement or for an occasional snack or just healthy thing to add to your diet. So as an add-on, I love them. As an all-out diet, I don't like them.
Okay, I'm going to take 2 more questions. I'm getting the hook, but I think these are important for people. This is from Sunny Day. My parents are older and have never had healthy dietary habits. Where is a good place to start for them to begin some developing better habits?
I would try to yank out some of the sugar. So get rid of the sugar cereals in the house, switch to reduced fat dairy, either skim milk or 1% milk, or also soy milk works as well, or unsweetened vanilla almond milk is delicious.
Oh, that's good.
And then try to incorporate a vegetable into every single lunch and every single dinner. And a big bonus, if you could get them outside and walking 20, 30 minutes a day, I think they'll feel great.
That's great. This is from Karen. I cut out almost everything sweet except dark chocolate, but I'm diabetic. So is dark chocolate in moderation okay?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Dark chocolate in moderation is great. You want to pick up a brand that's at least 70% cacao or cocoa, and that will mean that it's really rich in flavonoids, which are antioxidants that help your body. It helps your blood pressure. It keeps your vessels healthy, happy, and elastic. And because you're diabetic, what I would tell you to do when you have the dark chocolate, keep it to the size of a credit card, just 1 ounce. And if you can, have a small handful of nuts to give yourself a little bit of protein and fat with it as well. I think it's going to help to keep your blood sugars nice and steady.
Oh, that's great. You know, I heard a wonderful thing, Nora Ephron, who just passed away, and it's kind of heartbreaking. Everybody misses her, but she said so many wonderful things. And they were talking about chocolate, and she said the thing that has killed Europe is hazelnut. So the fact how they put hazelnut in all their chocolate.
I couldn't agree more.
I know. It ruins the chocolate.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, and in fact, for Karen, you could try dark chocolate covered almonds.
Right.
It's one-stop shopping.
Wow, that does sound good.
Good for the blood sugars, good for your heart.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Good for the sweet tooth.
Good idea. Well, this was great. She has so many great things to say, especially she says yes so often. I love that. Thank you for coming today. We'll see you next week, and thank you, sweetie. You're the best.
Thank you.
Best.